Okay. We're back. So, continuing where we left off, I'm going to read the passage in the book and then go over the choice that I've made. Basically, the valley was starting to get flooded. We went to 3 different locations to help stop the flood. From there and those locations, we ended up doing some work. And then the person who helped train us sent us to talk to somebody in the spire. And that's what we're doing. We talked to said person. Along meeting this person, we basically were followed in to the spire by a gentleman that we had met at one point at Lone Tree Station that owned an airplane that flies around the valley. Seems a little sketchy, but maybe not. So let's read and see where we're at. As you cross the bridge to the center of the town, Ben Amon, pilot of the Swift and Master Artificer, joins you. Hello there, Elder Thrush. Asked that I come to the spire and check on the hydraulic turbines, just in case they suffered any damage during the flood, he says. What brings you here? You explain what brought you here, and he smiles. His smile fades. Without delay, he accompanies you to see Elder Orlin. You find Elder Mora Orlin in the heart of the carbon forge, bent over an air lathe with a heavy piece of carbon in her powerful hands. When she sees you, she shuts off the machine and straightens. What is it? She growls. Her flinty stares never waver as you describe the strange beings with the eyeless face and dangerous-looking claws. When you finish, she grunts and nods to you and Ben Amon. My mother told me about these. When we first came over the passes into the valley, our people encouraged beings like the ones you described, vicious biomelds. They called them reclaimers. You ask, why? Reclaimers? I'm not certain, says Elder Orlin, but they are biomelds like the caustic mulcher and the toxin eater. Like all biomelds, they serve an ancient purpose. Perhaps they are compelled to capture something they perceive to be lost, or they search for some possession they believe to be theirs. The best way to discover the answer is to find them and observe their behavior. When you head out into the valley, you keep your eyes open. If you find reclaimers, see what you can learn about them. Ben Amon clears his throat. Elder Orlin, searching the valley could take weeks. If we want to know where they are, I can set up a scanning rig. We just need a place for a few relays. We just need to place a few relays around the valley, and I can sweep for these reclaimers. Elder Orlin shakes her head and gives Ben a bemused look. Sensors, always sensors. We have all the sensors we need right here. She taps her chest. And here, she taps her temple. Use your instincts, use your intellect, and you will find them. Ben doesn't waver. Elder, it's a big valley. If we don't send some sort of help, they could hike within half a mile of a swarm of these things, and you never know it. He turns to you. What do you think? Do you want to spend the week searching the valley for these things, or discover exactly where they are in just a few days? So I asked my friends what they wanted to do, and group chat voted. So we are going to agree with Ben Amon and deploy the scanners. You agree with Ben. The faster you find the reclaimers, the faster you find out if the reclaimers are in the valley, the better. Elder Orlin grunts and turns back to her air lathe. After you leave, Ben takes you to the Hardy Brew, the best tavern in town. There you find his pin crawler parked in the courtyard. He opens the back hatch, revealing a store of parts and electronic components along with a folding workbench. He sets to work crafting something, and when you ask him what he's doing, he distractedly mutters that you should think about getting some food. By the time you've finished eating and return, you see a bundle of steaks about 1 meter long, each topped with a globe crisscrossed with complex circuit inlays. These are relay scanners, Ben explains proudly. Set them up across the valley and they should generate a field that will pick up any biomeld activity. If there's a swarm of reclaimers out there, we'll see it. Just be sure to spread out the sensors as far as possible. Opposite ends of the valley would be best. When you stick them in the ground, just whistle this tune. He blows 3 notes, and the relay goes active. Ben hands you a glass disc in a smooth wooden frame. Once all 3 are active, they will send the results to the biological outpost south of Branch. But you can see what they pick up from this. Gain the sensor network mission. All right, let's grab that mission. All right, sensor network mission. Deploy sensors to try to detect reclaimers. We need to go to the high basin, the plummet, and the mound of the navigator. When a feature enters play at one of these locations, you may attach this mission to it. When the feature with this mission is attached, clear and add 1 progress to this mission. So the goal is to have 3 progress on this mission. And then we read 109. I also have this archaeologist mission. I was supposed to bring him to the spire. So I'm going to go ahead and clear that one now. So that'll be page 53 in the book. Or entry 53. So let's read that. The forest seems to stretch and bend around you as the day marches on. The straps of your pack dig into your shoulders and your feet ache after a long day's trek. You ask Solara how important this mission is, and he shrugs. If my hypothesis is correct, collecting this information from White Sky or Spire could help us uncover a forgotten chapter in the history of the valley's archaeology. But I know you can't be everywhere at once. If you need to go on your way, I can carry from here. Part ways and return helping hand to the collection and meet Ranger Sue's to fatigue. Okay. So, so we will part ways with him because I do not have time to continue to help. And then I will show you. Okay, so we got this new mission. We need to go to the plummet, the high basin, and mound of the navigator. I haven't been to any of these places. So I'm going to show the map here. So we do have the plummet over here. So that's 2 away. What's the other one? The high basin. That's going to be over here. And the mound of the navigator, which is down here. So I think we're going to want to go probably either to the... I think we go to the plummet. We can snake down here to the meadow. And then over to the mound of the navigator. And then from there, we can go to the high basin. So I'm thinking plummet first. However, I got very low cards here, so I'm going to need to, as soon as we travel away from the spire, I'm going to need to ultimately rest. So that's going to be, I need a 4 progress or higher to travel away from that. Upon arrival, it tells me to draw a path card. So I did draw this hanging cherry moss, which is going to be within reach. It's going to be close to me, but it's a presence of 0. So nice thing about that is I can kind of bypass that without having to worry about much of anything. And then I've got this kleptic raccoon. It is a that I'm just drawing at the start of the round. It is a presence of 1, so meaning if I want to interact to try to travel away from the spire, I am going to have to get a fatigue 1 card. So I am going to fatigue a card. And I am going to... Oops, I need to put this back. This fitness needs to go back on the card. I'm going to attempt a fitness, basically a traverse test. So I'm going to spend these 3 fitness plus... I'm going to discard these 3 cards because I'm just getting the hell out of here. So that's an effort of 6. I need 4 or higher. It was -1 fitness, so that would be an effort of 5. And then I'm going to choose to end the round and travel. Enough rain on that, so we're going to travel, and I'm actually going to choose to ultimately rest. So let's go ahead. We're going to take the path card away from old growth. Locations are going away. And then where are we headed? We're headed to Kodo's Market. It's not a pivotal location. So basically we're going to get 3 random cards from the valley. Inserted into our path deck. And we are traveling along the lakeshore path. So these are going to get shuffled in. Okay, we're going to take this up. These are going to go away. I'm going to grab out the location for Kodo's Market. Okay. Let's see. We are going to choose to rest, which basically means all of our cards and progress and the like will come back into our Ranger's deck. Let's grab the deck. Let's grab this and this. So I am going to shuffle. Let's take a look at our campaign tracker. I do need to... All right, let's take a look. Alright, we're going to travel to Photos Market, and we're going to camp. Now we are on day 7. Going to add mission here. And that mission is Sensor Network. Got it. Added. Boom. And shuffled all the cards. Arrival setup. I've already read the text here. So lead ranger search the path for the next feature and put it into play. Carnivorous Naiad, which is a water feature here. So I'm going to show you that. Oops. It's got a pull test, so you can pull your free from the restricting. It is a predator as well, which is not great. All right, flip this over. Draw a card. Quizivos Rascal. So there'll be some things that are going on there. But I'm really just trying to get the hell out of this place. So we're going to go ahead and draw my 6 cards from my starting hand and quickly travel away as quickly as possible. So. All right. All right, let's do a exhaust or focus test. It's an avoid test, yeah. So we're gonna need, we're gonna spend 2 focus, or awareness actually, to do this avoid test. Flip over the card. We got 0 awareness. So good. No plus or minus. We use 2 focus. We exhaust. Please exhaust. Now we're going to go interact with this directly, but it is going to require us to fatigue 2 cards to do so. We do need 4 or higher fitness to travel away. So that's a traverse test. However, I've got this bold card with these 2 symbols on it. And with that traverse test, I can spend the 3 fitness plus any symbol of that I discard on cards. So that'll be 3 plus the 2. That'll make it a 5 effort on this test, and I need a 4. Well, it is a +1, so that's good. And perfect. We're going to travel away. Perfect. All right, so we are still on a lakeshore path. I've got pivotal cards coming back in from the valley. We're going to shuffle those as well. And we are now headed to the plummet. So let's grab that location out. Let's see, I'm trying. Boom. Got it. Alright. The plummet is here. Check this out. So this is the artwork on it. So let's first see the arrival setup. Lead ranger, draw a path. So we're going to draw 1 path card, but let's look at the plummet. It's got a brace test of 3, so you can brace yourself for a ride on the spider line system to move your ranger token to this location. When you travel, if all ranger tokens are on this location, you may travel to a location of 2 paths away. Use the terrain of the second path deck when building the deck. Definitely want to do that because that's going to allow me to get closer to another place. So we're going to flip over the first. This is a feature. So this is along the way. So that's the arrival setup. Let's go ahead and read the book marker 19 so we get an idea, a better idea of where we're at. If Dace Ambitious Shaper is in play, go to otherwise read. The prominent is visible from kilometers away, a perfectly vertical sheer cliff looming over the valley. It's impossible to climb, so the only way to the top is a series of dangerous trails around the edges to approach it along the lip of the valley from the north, or zip to the summit on the spider line, which is what we are doing. So I'm gonna first flip over a card, and what do we have? A Romping the Trino. Alright, so when a feature enters play at one of these locations, you may attach this mission to it. Perfect, I'm going to do that. When a feature with this mission is attached, is cleared, add a progress to it. So we're going to clear that in order to get a progress on that. Cool, at the end of the round last time, I needed to draw. I definitely ended when I traveled. We're going to move that back on there, and then that back on there. So let's clear this guy, and in order to clear this guy, this obstacle, I just have to have my ranger token on it. I have two ways of doing that. I have a spirit test, which is a soak of 2. Soak your feet in the cold, clear water to move to that location. So what I'm going to do, because I do want to hit that brace mission, I'm going to try a focus. So that's basically a follow. I need a focus of 2 or higher plus that symbol. And then I can follow the winding stream, and then I can add my ranger token to this. And then that would, basically, it would clear it. So let's try that. And it is a follow plus this symbol, so I'm going to hit the follow. So it's not a follow, so it's focus plus that symbol. I'm going to spin 1 card with that symbol on it twice, plus the focus. So flip it over, it's a 0. Actually, before I do that, hold on. What I wanted to do is a exhaust on this one. It would have been an awareness -1, but I am going to do an avoid on this guy. So I do spin the 2 awareness. I got a -1 awareness. It only needed 1 for its presence, so that is succeeding. Now I'm going to do the focus mission and the focus test. It would be an effort of 3. I only needed an effort of 2, and I did hit that. So this goes here. This will clear. Make sure I put the progress on it for that location. And this will go bye-bye. Now, I am going to brace for the spider line. So that I need 3, plus any triangle cards that I will discard. So let's wait. I don't have any triangle cards on me. In order to do that. So instead, I'm just going to spin 3 to do a progress on that. So +1 would be 4 progress. I do need 5 in order to travel. But I don't want to travel until I have that spirit test done, that brace test. So I'm going to choose to end it there. Let's go ahead around, move these back. We'll go ahead and unexhaust everything. Yoink and yoink. We're going to flip this back over. It's another romping neutrino. I do get to draw a card at the end of that. So let's do a focus test. Let's try. And remember my training, grab a card. So, alright, I'm going to spend 2, let's do a 1. I'm going to do an avoid test again. So we're going to throw that out there to try to beef up the avoidance. So there's that, and we'll do another avoid test to try to avoid the other one. Oh, yeah, and then I'm going to spin this guy because it's 2 of those. Flip that over. That's an effort of 3 minus 2, so that avoids. And then I'm going to do that spirit test on this. Discard that to get it to an effort of, what is it, 3? Plus 1 on there. So that's an effort 4. So that. So spent the 2 tokens, discard a card for 3. That's a plus 1 is 4. So I do get to brace. Now when I travel, I'm going to get to travel up to 2 away. So let's go ahead and attempt that traverse test again. I don't think it's going to really matter. So, yep. So this will flip back over. Now I get to travel away, and I can travel up to 2 away. And I am going to choose to do that. These will go back. And then we're going to put this back in. Now we can travel up to 2 away. So we are traveling from the plummet, which is here. We're going to hit down here. We're going to go directly to the meadow, because we're going to try to get to Mound of the Navigator. So we're going to go right to the meadow, which is a pivotal location, which means it's going to have its own set of cards that we throw in there. And also, because it's the second path we're going to do, that is a grassland path. So let's look at the meadow here. Four from the meadow. And then grassland. Go the meadow out. Got it. Do the setup for it. Arrival setup. Lead Ranger, search the path deck for the Whispering Fields and put it into play, and then draw 1 path deck from the path deck. All right, Whispering Fields and put it into play. Okay, let's see. Whispering Fields come into play. And then we do draw a path deck here. And put the meadow into place. So let's check the meadow. It's got a search test. Search the pastoral community to scout path cards equal to your effort, then draw 1 path card, and then it's a 4R. So that's 4 or higher for the traverse test to get the hell out of there. I will show you the Whispering Fields. This is a feature. It is when you would draw a path card, instead attach it face down to this feature. After this feature enters play, draw a path card. X is equal to twice the number of face down path cards attached to this feature. So it enters play with this face down. And then you have a sense test. So it's awareness test plus a heart. Sense the movement of the tall grass to choose a number of attached face down cards at random equal to your effort and look at them. Choose one to put into play. If it has the ambush keyword, treat it as if it does not. So that goes there. Let's flip over a card. Morning Route, I think is what we have. Which is a feature, but it's a 0 on the presence. So 1 of 3 on the mission currently, and we are here at the meadow. We're 2 away from the mounds of the Navigator, and I think at that moment this is going to be a short one. We're going to call it, and then when we get back into the stream later, we will try to get the 2 other parts of that mission completed.